Noel McGrath joined alongside head coach of Team Rhino, the meanest man in Irish mixed martial arts,
the nicest man.
In Irish mixed martial arts, Andy Ryan. Andy, lots to talk about. We want to talk obviously about Redzer, Neil. You've Battle Zone, a couple of shows coming up. KSW, BAMMA, all that. What's going on, buddy? How are you keeping?
I'm keeping good. Redzer's gone mad looking to fight in Dublin. After his last fight, I thought it was great performance. He wasn't too happy after the fight. We went to the UFC a week later with Neil for Neil's last fight, and everybody at the UFC was talking about Redzer, how his fight was, and great to see him fighting again. If you're on in Dublin, we might come and look at you, and so he was on a good buzz, but I think he wants to go back in there in Dublin.
Who was saying that to you, Sean Shelby?
Yeah, but Shelby said he was looking, but the general staff, the people running in the background, they all like Redzer's a nice guy. There's a very good vibe there with the UFC staff, especially I suppose they're all English guys, so we know them, But I think for Redzer's last fight, it was a big fight. I know that Rob Sinclair is getting on in the years, but he is the former champion. I don't think he's been stopped before, has he?
No, that was the first time.
He's a gentleman. He's as tough as nails. Redzer stopped that guy after being under a bit of pressure, kept his head. He finished that fight. Not one person came near him after that fight. Not one interview, not one photograph, not one official came in to say, well done, Redzer, great stuff, great things for you. He was ignored, and I've never experienced that. And I just felt for me that...
Can I just interrupt you there in relation to the media, and I've said this on our show. He actually wasn't brought down. I was looking for him as well, and I vented my frustrations on our podcast a few weeks ago about that. I was annoyed about that. And we'd Redzer on the week after.
Yeah, a few people I remember the 5-star people coming to us and saying to us something similar. We can't even interview people here in the pitch black, and there seemed to be that lack. As soon as your fight was over, get the fuck out. You know what I mean? I felt as well, for me as a coach and someone that's really supported BAMMA, I felt that we were sort of not shown a little bit, but okay, you had your fighters on, the fuck off.
Yeah.
That's the vibe I got off them. I've never had that on any other show. Little things that I had done for them, and I, you asked for a little favour, and you're sort of told to piss off. Now I will say, Chris Boyne does go out his way for everybody, and he did go out his way for me. I will say that about him,
Agreed.
And he doesn't understand the MMA game, and I am going to say that he doesn't understand matchmaking, but he does try and help everybody, and he is a good guy. I've asked him for tickets or posters, or I've asked him, look, I've a Irish footballer coming, no problem. He goes out his way to help, and which is good. But when you're dealing with the guys up the chain a little bit, I find that when they want you for something, they are best friends, and then you can go and fuck off after that. We re-signed with BAMMA against a few people's advice. We were promised that, ACB came looking for him, KSW looking for him, other shows were been asking about him, and we said, no, look, BAMMA said, look, no. We told him our goal is to get Redzer good fights, good money, and the goal is Bellator UFC. And you have to be honest and say, but that's where the money is. So, of course, Redzer's promised everything, I see Bellator's coming back to Dublin. He doesn't get a mention. He's had 2 cracking fights, him and Norman Park and him and Rob Sinclair, on 2 big shows, a big seller, and they don't really want him on the Dublin show.
Why do you think that is, Andy? Because we've, I've spoken to you about it. Myself and Pete Salt made a podcast. Clearly for me, it would be the sensible thing to do. Would Redzer be a headline in Dublin, because he's obviously a big fan base here. I think it's crazy. Why do you think that is, though?
I think Bellator say they don't need him. Bellator will sell the cards out. James is a big following. We'll slot it in between. But I find for little things, the little small things makes a difference with them. Like Redzer is a signed guy. He jumped on and signed a contract with them. They said they're going to build him and they're going to look after him. And yet they're asking him then take a fight in December against a guy I don't even think, well, I'd say it, Ryan Scope is a very good opponent, and no problem taking that fight. Well, we'll do it in Dublin. No interest in Dublin. Do it in Newcastle, his back garden. He's done it in Norman Park's back garden. Redzer is your signed fighter. He's committed to you. He's signed, and you said you're going to work with him, and yet you're helping everyone else out but him. So then we get offered a fight for Dublin, because I pushed it. So we're not fighting we're not going to sit by and watch the Dublin show go by and wait a month later. Anything could happen. He wants on the Dublin show. The Dublin crowd want him. Then we're offered a fighter, and we're offered a fighter at 73 kilos. I won't give you the name, but an Irish fighter. It's hard to say, but that's looking after the opponent again. The opponent doesn't want to fight at 70 kilos. Oh, fuck Redzer. You know, we look after this. We had him signed up, and that's the boy. Redzer was annoyed when he heard that the weight came back at 73 kilos. He was sort of saying, "Are they fucking on drugs here?" You know, I'm their signed fighter. They're meant to be looking after me and building me up. You know, no such thing. We don't want easy fights. We want good fights. And then even like we were offered winning scope on other shows for twice the money BAMMA offer. You know,
so it's very strange to me that they won't have Redzer in Dublin.
Like they were meant to come back to me last week, and I haven't heard that since. Even with the last Dublin card, we had a lot of fighters in the card, and we got a lot of bad injuries. But John Redmond wasn't injured, and a couple of his opponents pulled out. And because they had the cards sort of pretty full, they didn't bother their arse rematching him. So he was sitting around for a fight, you know. He was fit to fight, you know. So I think they suit themselves, and it annoys me. Because we've really, I think between myself, SBG, the lads in you know, Rodney Moore's gym, we've really put BAMMA on the map here in Ireland. And people 100%. Forget that without the clubs, without the fighters, there is no show. Yeah, and then to be sort of, I feel with BAMMA, and I didn't feel it the first show in Dublin, but I felt it like I was really pissed off up the north. Reds are staying in a Mickey Mouse hotel.
I think Norman said the same thing as well, in relation to his weight cut.
Reds were staying in fighting for the world title on their show, and he's not even in the official hotel. He's in a Mickey Mouse kip. You know, he's going up at 6 in the morning, walk across to find this fucking gym to cut weight. Then when he makes weight like a professional, on weight, on time, has to wait 4 hours in the reception because there's no room for him. He wasn't even booked into the hotel till he couldn't check in. There was no room. And that's a title fight, your main event in the show. So that really put the daggers in him. And then we talked about that with BAMMA after. We talked about how he was treated. We said, look, his contract is up. And they come back, oh no, we wanted this. Redzer's great. We want to build him. We want to get him a world title. We're going to build him up. Great. That's great. Why isn't he fighting in Dublin, you know? Why are you looking after everybody else?
Andy, is there maybe a little bit of frustrations that you did sign a contract, you know, a 3-fight deal with BAMMA, maybe?
Yeah, I'm sorry, because actually KSW come in looking for him, and another European show have been in looking since, you know? So I am a bit annoyed, yeah, and we won't be doing that, you know, we won't be making that mistake again.
Well, there, you know, you said KSW came in, obviously they have a show, I think October 22nd here in the 3 Arena. You know, would you call for a release maybe of the contract if you can't work something out at this stage?
I think like I put it back in the BAMMA's hands and say, look, put him on a show in Dublin, you know, put him on Dublin, and then realistically, and I'll be honest with them when I say in February we're gone. You know, we won't piss them about. We won't do what they do to us, you know.
Yeah. I think there's a few fighters, you know, sort of in that boat at the moment where they're being promised fights, then it's not materializing from guys I've actually spoken to.
Listen, I, you know, I help cage warriors in their hair, and I put a lot of fighters on the show. And BAMMA is their rival show, and BAMMA came here, and I still supported them. You know, I could have been a fucker and saying I'm not. I supported them, gave them all my top guys, you know. And then I feel then that they're great when you give them the top guys, and as soon as they're done with you, then fuck off, like, you know.
Yeah, it seems to be a sore point, you know, amongst a few of the fighters at the moment. You know, a few of the guys, as I mentioned to you, I've talked to. But, you know, what do you envisage for Redzer happening then? Do you reckon, you know, they're going to put him on the Dublin card? Do you reckon he's going to be...
Well, Redzer, I was talking to Redzer today, and Redzer said he doesn't give a shit. He's going to do a bit of jiu-jitsu, and come February, he's gone.
Okay, you so know? There's no fight at the moment. You're not going to accept a fight?
No, but he's giving us a fight at 73.
Yeah, that's completely fair, yeah.
No, you know, and not even that, like, it's not even asking Redzer, what can we do for you? It's everybody else, you know? Everybody else, and that's the way. Now, maybe I'm being petty. I don't think I am.
No, I don't think so.
You know, maybe I am. I just think for someone that, like, Reds at the time of his career, he's not where some of the younger guys are, where they can take, you know, they can take a chance of fighting somewhere else, or they can take a longer time between fights. Reds is 30 years of age, needs to make a few quid. It comes down to it. It's money in the end of the day, you know. And he's on a good little roll now. He's been very good for BAMMA, you know. Couple of 3 fights he's had, he's been great, I thought, you know, and he's really, really pushed it, and I think he was a good signer for them, but they're not going to keep him.
Yeah, well, it's not rocket science for you know, for if you're a BAMMA matchmaker, you're one of the head guys there, to have Redzer, you know, headline the BAMMA portion, for me anyway, and I think for a lot of other people would definitely agree with that. In relation to KSW,
he's such a senior fighter.
Yeah.
He's not as if, like, they seem to give a lot of time to fighters running, you know, 2 and 3 fights. And that's great. Them lads are good. They're winning and they're competing. But hang on, you've seen a guy, an experienced guy here, has fought around the place. You know, he's a good jiu-jitsu player and a good MMA fighter and a nice guy. Treat him well, like. That's all we're asking.
No, I think, Mark G. Casey said the same thing as well in an interview Andy Cowan did with him over in TriStar there recently. He was a bit frustrated with some of the things that went on. Norman said the same as well, and to name but a few. But KSW, have they been knocking on your door asking for fighters? What was the conversation with them?
They sent the list looking for fighters, sent an email looking for fighters, and realistically, they said they wanted Reds, but Reds were signed with BAMMA, and we didn't want to piss that off, they're looking at one of our other lads, maybe for the undercard fight. We have a good kid, James Sheen, and he's making his pro debut on the Cage Warriors Academy in Liverpool, September the 2nd. So I was sort of giving his name up there, because a lot of my other lads are either signed with Cage Warriors or signed with BAMMA. We try and be fair with every promotion. And
is that something that you're going to look at now, Andy? Across the board from all your fighters, only one fight deals.
Yeah, I think so. I think so. Like, it was different when Neil and Reds were signed with Cage Warriors. They got plenty of fights and they were well looked after. Okay, the money wasn't the best, but the treatment was very good. And like after the fights, there was never one fight where my lads won or lost that Ian Dean and Graham didn't come into them and say, "Well done, great stuff, lads. Look, we're going to think about this for your future." They are very good at that. Yeah. They're very good at, and they're very good in keeping contact with the coaches and saying, "Okay, but this fight is coming up. But look, that mightn't suit you guys. It's a lot of traveling, or this fighter mightn't suit your guys' style. Let's look for someone else." They never gave you easy fights, but they were always fair with you, And I do think a lot of shows could learn from them, They are very professionally run,
Definitely. I want to get your thoughts. Obviously, moving on a little bit. Neil is Neil been now in the gym? Obviously, he's retired.
He's a professional fisher man now.
Yeah.
Now he will be down. He popped his ribs in the third round. I think he did a bit of cartilage damage under the bottom of the ribs, so he can't roll and he can't really do anything. So he's been fishing. I've been talking to him on the phone and that now, and fishing and drinking cans of Dutch Gold as far as I know.
Is is he going to be? Are you going to give him a coaching role in the gym? Has he thought about that?
Yeah, he was already, even as a fighter. Like, that's the thing with the fighters in my gym. All the MMA fighters, the senior lads, Reds or Patrick Wickstead, all them lads, they all coach. So yeah, he'll be back coaching and role. I hope he takes up the jiu-jitsu. He had a very good jiu-jitsu game, which he really concentrated on for a good few years. And he sort of, the last 3 years, he hasn't been doing as much. So hopefully he can hop back in there and start competing, especially at the Masters divisions. Head for his black belt. It's another goal without getting punched in the head.
Yeah, you've obviously been in touch with him quite a lot, and he made those comments afterwards. He was on News Talk doing an interview. Yeah. Was that something that you'll reach out to your fighters and maybe have a word with them now? About maybe planning for the future or something else like that after what Neil said.
All the lads do something like so. The likes of Reds is doing a masters in strength and conditioning and stuff like that. And Patrick's opened his own gym and stuff. So they're all doing something like. James Sheen is a qualified electrician, so they all have a base. Eric Nolan works in the bank; he's a bank manager. So they all, of course, you have the base. This thing of just. If you have the support and you're young enough and you have your few exams or you have your bit of education, of course, take a couple of years out. You want to try it, but it's like I always say to guys: if you look at most of the elite athletes around the world, like athletics, say, most of them are in colleges, so they're getting degrees and stuff. So when they finish their athletic career, even though they're superstars, they have something to fall back on. And it's the same with the judo in the UK. I have friends there, and they're based in colleges, and they'll go and do a course and. Could be something to do with the gym, sports management, sports science, diet, anything like that. But it's the game they're involved in, so they're always educating themselves. So yeah, like you don't have to go out and get a 60-hour-a-week job and say, you can make the commitment to be a full-time athlete, but you need to have something there in the reserves. You're young enough, you can do it. But I do think for me, I'm sorry I never had done a leaving cert because I know running the gym. It was a little bit more educated. It'd be easier on the business end of stuff, which I'm actually going to go and try and do myself now. But if them guys are doing some sort of degrees or some sort of courses in college, it doesn't have to be full-time, part-time 3 days a week, plus they're training. Or if you are working, go to your job and say, look, I have a short window here to make this as a full-time athlete. Any chance you help me out? I'm not looking for anything for free. Maybe I can, when I have a fight camp coming up, can I cut down to 3 days a week? You know, when I'm off the fight camp, I can do an hour extra in the evening, you know, for a couple of weeks to cover them a couple of days, you know. That's all. I think you got to be open with the job you're in. And most jobs now, they like seeing guys being involved in sports and active. It's good for the companies, you know.
Definitely,
But definitely, you can't just say, I'm going to make it as an athlete and not fucking train and don't work, you know. And the thing, my hate with the full-time athlete thing is guys decide, I'm going to be a full-time MMA fighter, I'm going to be a full-time jiu-jitsu player, or I'm going to be a full-time boxer, whatever it is. They're in my gym, but they're still doing the same classes they did when they were in work. And I say, well, where you're full-time now, where's the extra sessions? Where's your morning session? Where's your afternoon session? Where's your road work? Where's your technical session? Like, you should be, you know, you should be them 40 hours you're doing the job. You're doing 40 hours in the gym, you know. So at the moment, I'm actually in contact with a fella, Keith Goff, he's involved with the Irish judo scene. A fella, Paul Murphy in England, involved with judo. Someone who was wrestling with the Bulgarians. A friend of mine who was in Japan training. And I've been talking to them and a couple of athletes, and I'm waiting to talk back to a fella in America and see what's the best plan for an athlete. What's the time on the mat or in the gym? You know, there's no point in being in the gym 8 hours, you're not doing anything. You know, where you could be, the general consensus I'm getting from nearly everybody, it's 5 to 6 days a week, and it's 4 to 8 hours depending on what you're doing. But it's like a 5-6 hours a day divided between 3 sessions or 2 sessions. But they're all good sessions, you know. Sunday's a recovery day, and then that will change coming into fight camp or season. If it's athletics, there'll be different type of training, you know. So I think Irish guys want to be professional. They're fighting professional. They're looking for money as a professional, but they're not training and living as a professional, you know.
Just a couple more, Andy. Do appreciate the time.
Yeah, no problem. Yeah.
Obviously, I don't think anyone's actually asked you this one. Favorite moments from Neil's career? Dublin, UFC?
No, Cage Warriors.
Cage Warriors.
Because it was the first time that not just Team Rhino was the gym, but Neil got a bit of recognition. Like he's the first flyweight champion of Cage Warriors, the first ever. Doesn't matter what happens. And many years thereafter that, he's the first flyweight. So for me, that was people don't realize how hard a fight that was. Like that guy had a great war with the Russian flyweights name.
I know Ali Bagatinov.
Yeah. Like that guy had a war with him, you know. And we knew coming in that this kid was the one everyone was talking about in Europe, and he's going to the UFC. Nobody gave Neil a chance. But we knew with the 5 rounds, we knew Neil would wear him down. He'll take a bit of punishment, leg kicks, he'll wear him down. So for me, that was the pinnacle of his career. He submitted the guy, you know, and people don't realise that. So it was that for me, Cage Warriors world title.
Definitely. It was a great night. It was there.
Why are you laughing?
I'm just laughing at you because you're scaring me with those eyes. Just staring at me. You're on my computer. You're on my computer screen, just looking at me. As it stands, Andy. Okay, just one last one for you. Redzer, you know, is he going to sit out till February as it stands? Yeah. Wait for the contract to end.
He's not pushed. Yeah, if they don't give him a fight in Dublin and you want to come back soon with that, you know, it's very close. You know, you need proper preparation and proper time. And I see other guys in fights have been announced, haven't they?
Yeah.
BAMMA have been announced fights, you know. Bellator lashing the fights out there, you know. And the thing I don't understand as well, Bellator were so keen to sign.
He got injured,
you know, that time, and he got injured. And, you know, there's been 2 shows since and not look for him, you know. So is there someone saying, oh no, we have Redzer sign up for a fight, he's not available? I don't know. But it is annoying. You know, so BAMMA, if you don't want to match him, let Bellator match him. You know, he'd be a big draw for Dublin. You know, I think he's a big fan favourite with Dublin, not just with Team Rhino or all gyms. Redzer gets on with everybody.
Yeah, you know? Definitely, 100%. Obviously, a few Battle Zone shows coming up as well. You know, tickets available, all that, Andy.
Yeah, of course. Battle Zone we have back in Trinity. Back in Trinity, it's no frills, no ring girls, no bleeding lights. A cage in the middle of a sports hall. We've had Gunny Nelson there. We've had Neil Seary. We've had Tom Egan. We've had Conor McGregor, Aisling Daly. They've all fought there. You know, they've all fought there in a little sports hall. So we're going back to that. It won't be a big show. We've got Lee Hammond and Alex O'Sullivan fighting for the amateur title. That's a really good one. 2 of the best lightweights in the country as amateurs. They're going pro, I'd say, very soon. I watched Lee there last week at a Battle of the Boyne submission only tournament. He was absolutely brilliant. He was brilliant, so I was very impressed with him. And then we're doing a proper big Battle Zone in Waterford, bringing it down to the sunny southeast for all the muckass. But to give them a few scraps. But no, it's great. We've a good base down that way, so we're trying to get down that way for them, do the show. But Battlezone will be back. We did go asleep for a little bit. We were so busy with other things and supporting the shows. I think one amateur show recently, we had 6 or 7 guys on the show, So, we've been on every show in Ireland we've been on. So, fuckers better repay the favour and start filling my cards.
Definitely. Andy, it's a pleasure. Hopefully Redzer gets sorted. I think everyone wants to see him on that Dublin card.
Yeah.
Do appreciate the time as always, buddy.
Yeah, and look, people are forgetting the things are changing in Ireland now. There's more professional shows coming here. I got a call there a few weeks ago. The ACB is coming. I know Brave is coming next year. You know what I mean? Cage Warriors hopefully will be back. But I hope they come back and do a New Year's Eve show. They were some of the best shows Ireland ever seen.
Definitely.
And BAMMA and Bellator. So there's plenty of shows there. So guys who want to get the finger out and start looking after the fighters.
I agree.
And one thing as well to say as well. Another thing I was surprised at as well. When I was at the last BAMMA, where all you press guys wasn't great. There was more bleeding gobshites drunk hanging over you and in the areas. I noticed that now, and I will say that now. I know that Pete and a few lads were having a bleeding nightmare. There was more fellas pissed trying to come in and charge their phones.
I had a guy charging his phone off my MacBook on press row. So there you go.
Yeah, mental.
Absolutely
Then
crazy.
you don't know who's standing behind you there, or something goes missing.
Mm-hmm.
I think the press should have been in out of the way.
Well, to be honest, Joe, I'm as I said to you, and I said to Pete, and I said it on our show, I'm reconsidering whether I'm going to be able to cover those events anymore because I can't afford to have equipment, that price for it lying around and unprotected. Yeah. So, we'll make a decision closer to the event. But listen, hopefully they can get their act together. I think.
Yeah, I think so. I hope so because it's a good show and it was great atmosphere in the Dublin shows, and that's because they're being supported by the clubs. But you got to return the favour. You got to support the clubs that are supporting them.
Definitely.
And that's you lose the clubs, fucking show. You know what I mean?
Andy, always appreciate the time. I'll talk to you soon, my buddy. Take care.
All right, Pat. Thank you very much. Good luck.